Hello, Larry here once again to tell you all sorts of random facts about comic book characters you didn't ask for. Do you ever find yourself looking at something that everyone loves, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and then just looking at it and going, why does everyone love this? Well, that happens to me in comic book characters a lot. So today I'm going to share with you 10 characters that I just do not get the hype. Keep in mind, these are only my personal opinions. If you like these characters, please continue to. If it gets you to read, please keep reading them. And please tell me why you like them in the comments below. Before we get into the list, I want to show you a character that can't really make the qualifications because he's not popular enough. A lot of people don't even know who he is. Darkclaw. He is the result of smushing Batman and Wolverine together. It was a result of this god-awful comic called DC vs. Marvel, where they smushed all the characters together for some reason. Batman, Wolverine, that should be cool, right? No, it's not. It's just taking Batman's origin and smushing it with Wolverine's origin. Two cool things do not make a double cool. And that's why he sums up this list to me. Over-designed, nothing to him, just a cool image. Buckle up, you're going to be hearing that a lot. Dishonorable mentions to Rorschach and V. I actually like those characters, I just hate how they've been over-glorified over the years. You're missing the point by worshipping them. And Thanos, mainly for his depiction in the movies, turning him into an edgelord sad boy. The Batman who laughs, and by extension, the whole dark multiverse. He's just a cool image. What if Batman became the Joker and had this stupid Hellraiser motif for some bizarre reason? He just keeps selling action figures. That's the only reason they keep him around. He keeps popping up out of nowhere because he's popular. And the whole dark multiverse makes no sense because it's supposed to be the opposite of the main multiverse where everything's dark and evil. But if you look in the main multiverse, there's a Nazi universe. Why isn't that in the dark multiverse? And he's not the Batman who laughs. He's the Batman that won't shut up. He constantly talks and pontificates and speechifies. It's annoying. Jason Todd Red Hood. Personally, Jason Todd was at his best when he was a memorial in the Batcave. An example of the terrible things that can happen if you are a superhero. This is not an easy life. Batman didn't have a Robin after him for a very long time until Tim Drake convinced him to. And when he came back to life, yeah, his story was pretty good, but then he stuck around. For a while, he was actually a villain to Dick Grayson as Batman, and that was a cool idea. But him being Batman with guns is a stupid concept. Batman doesn't need guns. He's better than that. And he really shouldn't be invited back into the Bat family for Thanksgiving dinner if he's going around shooting people willy-nilly. At the end of his original story, Alfred says, "Do you want me to take down that memorial?" And Batman says, "No. Jason Todd died a long time ago." And that really is how I feel about it. Lobo. He constantly talks about how badass he is. And if a character is badass, they do not need to state it. He refers to himself as the main man. Anyone who referring themselves in the third person like that is not somebody I'm interested in. He uses stupid made-up curse words like bastich and fraggin', which doesn't make him sound cool. It makes him sound like a little kid trying to not get in trouble. He's constantly looking for a fight, even if the person he's fighting didn't deserve it. You could view Lobo as one big joke on characters like this, but so many people take him seriously that they miss the point. Sometimes people say actions speak louder than words, but I think Lobo's words say enough about him. And I have the perfect example of Lobo right here. "Come here, you bastich. Nobody calls Lobo a six-toed Caesarean tree sloth and lives to tell the tale." "But I didn't call. Doesn't matter, you might have later, so I'm gonna kill you anyway." Because he's so cool, right? Cable. In the 90s, there were tons of these gun-toting, big McLarge-huge characters, and he was just the biggest and the largest. He's wholly unoriginal. He's just one that stuck around for some reason. He's kind of a Terminator knockoff. Robot arm, glowing eye thing, because yeah, that's cool, right? He's an X-Men character, but he's so far removed from X-Men that what's even the point? And he's also the future son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor, a clone of Jean Grey, which kind of makes him one of those fanfic shipping kids. Venom. Honestly, I don't necessarily hate him as a concept, but you've heard about heroes who live long enough to become the villain? Well, this is a villain who lived long enough to become the hero. Just because he's popular doesn't mean you need to make a whole comic about him. He eats people's brains. I can't identify with a character who does that. He calls himself a lethal protector, but that's just another version of an anti-hero. It just feels kind of gross. The initial story after the Black Suit Saga was interesting. Him being a dark mirror for Spider-Man was cool. But he just stuck around because he sells action figures. Now, there have been good sympathetic versions of Venom / Eddie Brock in the Ultimate Comics and in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, but I think the main continuity Eddie Brock is just not sympathetic and not interesting. Carnage. He's Venom, but red. A toyetic design does not a cool character make. He's a random crazy serial killer. His whole motivation is just murder, murder, murder. That's not something I can connect to. I can't talk to him, can't quantify it. There's a time where he crossed over with the Joker, and the Joker absolutely hated him. He's not an artist. He has no class. And he was the start of the non-stop symbiote madness that still plagues Marvel to this day. Doomsday. He's known as the man who killed Superman, but since Superman's still around, that doesn't really mean anything. He has one of the absolute worst origins. So on Krypton, there were some crazy scientists that wanted to create the world's best killing machine. Perfect specimen. So they got a baby, threw it out into the woods, it died from whatever. They would take the remains, clone it, and keep doing that over and over again, so every time it would gain an adaptation so they could survive. But that is not how cloning works, and that is not how evolution works. And his present is stupid as well. He's a big, gray, spiky thing that punches stuff. He doesn't even talk, he just growls. Honestly, he was just a big ass pull because they needed someone to kill Superman, and that's all they could come up with. If you're gonna kill Superman, this isn't the way to do it. Why not use some long-standing character like Lex Luthor or Darkseid, or even the Legion of Doom? This just feels dumb. For the final three, I'd like to mention that these are characters I actually really like. I just think they've been overused so much that they've lost all meaning. Deadpool. I think anyone who has ever been to a convention knows why I put him on this list. The overuse of LOL random humor gets old real quick. He started off as a ripoff of Deathstroke. Deathstroke's real name is Slade Wilson. Deadpool's real name is Wade Wilson. I think we cracked your code. Because he was so unoriginal to start, he really is just a hodgepodge of different action figure parts that just gained more popularity as the years went on. The Punisher. Everyone in the Marvel Universe absolutely hates him. His fanboys think they can be the Punisher, but they can't even be Microchip. He's all the basic cool things: trench coats, guns, cigars, vans. He's just revenge porn. If I'm gonna read a comic, that's not what I want. Oh, and all the stickers you see around town on the back of trucks are completely missing the point, because he hates cops, and cops hate him. The Joker. He's overused. Batman has other villains, really interesting ones that don't get the spotlight because every writer wants to use the Joker. When did he go from the clown prince of crime to the patron saint of Hot Topic? Dennis O'Neil says that the Joker might kill you because he doesn't like your shoes, or he might give you $1 million because he doesn't like your shoes. He doesn't randomly keep a bunch of baby clothes in his house, or put lip liner in for one scene, or talk about all the things he's going to do to you but not actually do them. Talking to you, Jared Leto. It's gotten so bad that there is a story called Three Jokers that had a lot of build-up to it. And naturally, when someone says, oh, 3 Jokers, what does that mean? There's 3 of them? Which one is which? But the answer is nothing. They kill 2 of the Jokers, so at the end of the story, there's only 1. At the end of it, they say, oh, well, the identity of the Joker isn't important. Jeff Johns, I know the identity of the Joker isn't important, but you made a story called Three Jokers and had at least a year and some change worth of build-up to it. But you gave us nothing. Let's give the Joker a rest. Like I said, these are only my opinions. If you like these characters, please tell me in the comments below why you like these characters. There's reasons to like all of them. I have been Larry. Until next time, remember, a perfect world doesn't need Superman.